Hey everyone, Josh Sachs here with another episode of Local Pros. With me today, I have the first place finisher at the Northern Ontario Championship, Bronchy Creek Classic, and Greater Niagara Open for the 2023 season, Mr. Cam Zanini. Cam, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Coming all the way from Niagara Falls. How nice.
Yep. Right.
And you've
Gotta
you've
make
got a
50,
tournament basically in your backyard tomorrow.
almost, kinda, but there's not much in not
Okay,
much in the backyard in Niagara area anyway.
you're
So
probably closer than I am. We'll go with that.
yeah, I'm like 45 minutes away from it. So
An hour
depending
and
on
a bit.
the QEW.
You mean our lack of good highways in this province?
Right. Yeah. Like like the only time you don't get traffic is in the middle of the night. From like
Yep.
6 a.m. till 6 p.m. It's like don't even bother. Just walk.
It's a long walk from through wine country, but I mean, you'll probably enjoy
Sometimes,
yourself.
man. Right? At least I got something to look at.
um, so before we get into all the fun disc golf stuff, what's your background sport wise prior to disc golf?
So all through elementary school and a little bit of high school, I played basketball. I played badminton from grade 7 till probably like 12, and that's kind of it for like schooling. And then in wintertime, I'm in 2 bowling leagues actually. I know I'm already 87 years old, but it gets me out of the house, keeps me active. It's a similar like mental game where it's just kind of there's no defense. It's like you making decisions on the fly and like getting information that way. So I
Mm-hmm.
kind of like that about it. But other than that, not a whole lot of like vigorous sports, I guess.
Let me guess, point guard.
Shooting guard, close. I was like second string point guard, but
Okay, so the other small position on the floor. Okay, fair.
exactly, pretty much.
Not
How'd you
something either
know?
of us are known for. Height.
Never been known to be the tall one of the group, that's for sure.
um, so what got you into disc golf?
So I played a year of ultimate frisbee in like a league, like a little for fun, whatever league. And I saw a video of Brody Smith and Avery Jenkins that time doing their like a disc golf and ultimate trick shot. And me and my buddy Jeremy Hewitt were like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. Like, what is this?" Right? Dove a little bit more into it. We went to Florida to visit his parents and visit his family and stuff. Realized there's a course 45 minutes away. We're like, let's try it out, right? Bought the old starter set. We were like sky highs ring DX leopards. It was great, but and ever since then I've been hooked.
Oh, one trip to Florida just gets everyone in trouble, doesn't
Well, you're not wrong.
it? So how long have you actually been playing for?
Um, this will be like my 10th or 11th like full year playing. I played like the ones in Florida, and then we didn't have anything in this area until like Whiskey Run went in at that time. Um, but that was like a year after, and I was like, oh, we finally got a course here. Let's try it out. And then that's kind of I was like, I want to do this for basically the rest of my life.
I mean, it's something that you can definitely do for for the rest of your life. We've got people in Ontario playing in the 75 and 80 divisions.
Oh yeah, it's crazy to see. Yeah,
So clearly a sport you can stay with, and God
as long as you
willing.
like, 'cause it keeps you active and moving without like a lot of intense movement.
Mhm.
Like you can't really play basketball when you're 80 very well, right? But disc golf is like you're just kind of walking with like 2 seconds of quick like movement when you're throwing, and then that's it really. So
it's hiking with a purpose.
exactly,
Who wants to
exactly.
just walk around in nature? May as well throw a disc at a target.
Let's just throw plastic discs at real trees and call it a sport.
I mean, if you talk to pubs and Rob, that's what they used to do.
That's fair. Tone golf, yeah.
um, so as I said, you came up through the ranks. I know you kind of worked your way through the different AM divisions into pro, and you've been pro, I think, at least since I started playing, and probably a little before that. I started in
Let me
2021. I think
let me
I'm
check
pretty sure you were
here.
already pro at that point.
I think it was 2017. If I can
Wow.
check. Yes. So yeah, 2017 was when I turned pro, and it was at Timmel when Dave Slater was running it. That was my
Oh,
first open
nice.
event, and I cashed. So I was like 1 for 1. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be great, and then quick
I
after
was gonna
that.
say,
But
so what you're saying is that didn't last very long?
I think I was like 2 for 2, and then it just yeah, because I was still like there was no expectations, and I started cashing, and I'm like, okay, I can do this, and then I was like expecting to get cash all the time, and it's like, no, it's not gonna happen. But
It's a tough go in this province, especially like you've got the guys that occasionally will play the age protected divisions, and then times where they're just like, nope, we're playing the open field. And then you get Marty and Gigi who come down and just destroy everybody because they're
literally,
like, they don't have to throw far, but they know exactly where it's going. They know exactly what that disc is going to do, and it's going to turn right around that last tree that you're going to
they're
smack right into.
they're like Marty is phenomenal with his angle control. Same with Gigi as well. But like when I watch Gigi play the spruce and he's on the spruce, you're playing for second. Like it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. He is like he does not miss a gap. And I'm just like sitting there like, can you like give me one chance in one day? Like, come
No,
on, come
not
on.
he's never going to give you a chance at his course.
No,
It's just
God,
not going to
no,
happen.
it ain't happening.
You may
Cool to watch
you may
though,
as well
but
be ace running every hole.
right.
I mean, you
Not that
kind of
I'm
have to.
really good
You
at that
kind of have
anyway,
to at
but
that course. At least the
yeah, it
front nine.
depends. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, from the blues, some of them, but the whites definitely you can run a lot of them.
Yeah, for sure. Um, anything you're working on in your game this off season?
I am trying to break the terrible habit that I have of like dropping my elbow when I pull through because I kind of pull through like that sometimes. Like if I'm really throwing it hard, I kind of just do one of those. But I got to work on keeping it like up here. But keeping it up here like nowadays feels like I'm like up here. Yeah, like I'm like pulling through up here, which but it's what I got to do. But like that's the one thing if I could change about my game, it would 100% be that because that's a terrible thing to
So
do. But
keep the elbow up, but don't dab. Okay.
yeah, right. We're just so big old Heiser here.
And you throw it straight into the ground because you're just like, crap.
Just hold the pose, hold it. You got to post your shot.
Because I mean, from the times I've watched you play, I mean, it's here and there because we don't live that close together. But at tournaments, like you are one of the better putters that I've seen in the province, at least consistency wise. You're not airballing a lot. If you're missing on the pole.
Yeah, usually it's either kind of like high or low, maybe like a little bit left or right. But at least I'm never, like I said, I'm never really airballing. It's just kind of like this area is where I got to aim, and I'm not going to either like here a lot of times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I remember when we were in PI last year, you were having, I mean, the whole card was having the damnedest time with the wind because one of the guys would go to putt with the tailwind and it drops like it should, and then you
Yeah,
go to putt and you're like, okay, it's going to drop it, and it raises it right over the basket. And you're just like,
yeah. It's just,
what?
I mean, like playing in that wind that we had for that, like it's just you make your best guesstimate and then just like hope. That's all you can do at that point. It's just like, just please do what you're supposed to do a little bit, and it never does. But
It was the weirdest thing to watch everything happening that weekend with the wind, and it's like, okay, you're out in the open, the wind kind of making sense. You're throwing a headwind, of course, your stuff's going to flip over, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, by the way, the wind just changed in the middle of your throw.
like, yeah, I don't remember what hole it was, but like I was watching everybody else like approach or putt to, or like, up to the basket, whatever, and I watched the flag go 3 different directions from like the middle of the fairway to the green. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? What's going on?
I don't have a plan anymore.
The plan is foiled. Improvise. Just kick it.
Any specific goals for this year? Tournaments you really want to get after and take down?
Definitely Christie because I do really well at Christie. Like even though I didn't win last year, but the last 2 years I won back to back, and then that year coming down the stretch, I was in contention for the win. And Christie like spring fling way back when it was an like at A tier when I was playing advanced was my first like actual advanced win. So like I for some reason I do really well there. So hope I want to definitely attack that one. Uh, obviously the Hout Goat because it's a DGPT one, so I kind of want to do good at that one. But mainly it's more of just like getting a bit more of a consistent season because last year like I started off okay. Oh, my computer decided to screw off again. There you go.
Oh, we can see you.
Hey, I'm back. But yeah, last year I started off all right. Not good, but not terrible, but not good. And then the middle of the season, it had this like slumping where like, I just could not figure out how I wanted to throw, what I wanted to do. And then somehow I think it was like when September hit, it all kind of clicked. Like that last round at Timmel was like the best round I had almost the whole summer. And I was like, oh, that's how I'm supposed to do it. And then it was fine after that. But kind of maintaining or getting less of a heartbeat season going and more of kind of just like a nice, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know you've been working for a while at pushing the 1,000 rating, and
That's another thing. Yeah.
I knew you were getting close at one point last year, and then it kind of 996, pretty darn close.
Considering like for the fact that I personally feel I didn't have like the greatest overall season and I still kept that rating as good. I think it was like 2021 when I did break over 1,000. I think I was like 1,003 or something like that. Where am I? Oh, 1,002. Sorry, yeah, 2022.
Yeah, it's getting rid of the bad rounds. I think more so than just having. Or you're right, being consistent. It's not having. Yeah. It's not having the big gaps high to low. It's throwing that 1,000, 1,001, 1,010 kind of stuff without the 880s thrown in there.
Okay, listen.
Okay, sorry, that's me. Sorry, I want to throw the 880s because I'm currently 876.
No, I get what you mean, though. I get what you mean. Like, it's those, like, for me, it's like a 940 or 950 where it's just like one of those rounds where nothing's going right. Like, yeah, you're going to have a couple of those in a season. But I had more like 960s than I probably really should have. Like, I look back and I'm like, dude, I made so many like little easy mistakes that are 9 points here, 9 points there, and all of a sudden I'm at a 980 right here, which is I'm okay with. Like if I have a meh round, I get 980 out of it. Okay, I'm fine. Like,
are you gonna outside of the Q Series stop that's happening in Ontario? Are you trying to get to any other Pro Tour events this year, or is it kind of a wait and see? Hopefully, if you get the rating improved, you'll get there.
That's the problem. Is like with my rating now, I can't even like sign up for them because it's like the tiered list, and it's like 1,000 is the minimum. I think it's almost like 1010 now. I think it's the minimum, and it fills up right away because so many people are over that, which is insane. That it's hard to get into.
Now, is that a function of Ontario not having enough players in that kind of rating zone to be able to get up there?
Maybe a little bit, because like obviously we have Marty, we got Kimmy, we've got Oz, who's been pretty much 1,000 rated for a couple of years now, and Thomas whenever he comes back. So like we do have people, but not to the extent of down in the States. Like, what's that? Florida has got about California. Is what I was trying to say. California's got so many 1,000 rated players. Even in like Europe, there's a lot of those people from like 995 to 1010. There's like way more of those than what we have from 950 to 990 here. It's crazy.
So I know there are some of the guys, the people I've spoken to that are talking like going to Rochester or Syracuse and some of those stops, just because they're close to the border. I know like you live right there, Niagara Falls. I know in the past you have done a couple, pretty sure you've done a couple events down there before.
Yep.
So maybe sprinkling a few of those in will help.
Yes, I mean, hopefully, exactly. Yeah, hopefully, exactly. I'll see what's going on. I mean, if there's a tournament the same weekend in like the Syracuse one as it's here, I'm probably gonna do here just because it's a little bit easier to get to, and Syracuse is fine. Like it's like the driving down. I know what highway that is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't really want to drive that highway, but then I drive the QEW here, so it makes no difference.
But like, there's we were talking just before we started. Like, there's weekends in Ontario where there's 5 tournaments at the end of April. There's a weekend I think in May or something that's got 2 or 3 already. It's just like, which one do I sign up for? What am I
right?
trying
Like,
to get out of it? Who
and
do I want to
you
get
gotta
out of
like,
it? And what if you have that come up? What's your like? How do you decide where to go?
for me, it's like traveling first of all. If I look at the ones like, okay, can I realistically do this one? Maybe just like in the one day. Like the farthest I'll probably drive. Even then, it's like if there's a one day in like London or St. Thomas, that 2 hour drive is a little bit annoying, but it's doable. Whereas like I'm not driving to Helpgoat and back every single day. Like that's not happening. I'm gonna find somewhere there, right? But it's that kind of traveling aspect. Look at that first, and then like, okay, well, which ones do I want to do more? What course do I like more? Which course do I play better at? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And assuming they were all if they were all the same tier, I guess it's more which one you prefer to play at. If they're different tiers, does the
Yeah,
tier
that's yeah,
itself?
definitely. Yeah, I mean, like if there's a B tier half an hour away, or if there's an A tier 2.5 hours away, it depends. Like I'll probably sign up for the A tier because it's more points, it's more money, it's a bigger tournament, so it's gonna be better put on, better competition, all that stuff. But half-hour drive to 2.5 hours, sometimes, but depends. But
If I can take the win and fine, I get less money, but I only have to drive half an hour versus
so
maybe I'll win and I
it's
have
like
to drive
okay, well,
2.5 hours.
depends on exactly depends on how much money I'm getting. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna spend that gas
Whoop.
or like a place to stay. So realistically, how much money am I actually making, right?
Right.
But there's a chance to win more at an A tier anyways. So I kind of get away with the options sometimes.
So, gotten through all the fun stuff. So we'll get to the rapid fire round. Everyone loves the rapid fire round. Favorite disc in your bag?
God, this computer. Polecat. Sorry. I keep forgetting about it. It keeps turning itself off. Yeah, probably Felix the Polecat or the old cat.
I mean, you have more than one in your bag, so I'm glad you specified which one it was.
Yeah, one cycle. I got a glitch now though. I got a glitch in there too, so I have like 2 1 speeds.
Oh well, I'm sorry. I just got mine and started trying it out a couple weeks ago. The
They're fun.
Cloudstone / Spore from
Oh yeah, I've
Zanini
seen those. Yeah.
is their version of that lightweight 1 speed. It glides forever. And have you played Dentonia yet?
No, I have not.
So there's a par 3. They're all par 3s. What a silly comment to make. Hole 4 is kind of a blind tee shot. It's only like 160 something feet, but the basket's basically on the edge of a hill. You're throwing over a mountain to get to it. So it's either a forehand or like an easy hyzer. But if you miss your angle, it's going straight down the hill, and it's about 40 feet up, or at least it feels
Okay.
like it.
Yep.
And so I just threw this on I threw that Cloudstone on a little baby hyzer, just barely got over the ridge, right underneath the basket. I'm like, so if I only use it for this hole, that's guaranteed 2 down on 18 if I play through twice. Even if it's only good for one hole, it's good for this one.
I figured it out. That's it. I got it. I got the game plan now. Everything's
The
fine.
second there's one gust of wind, that disc is useless because it's
That
155 grams.
yeah, I mean, well, those discs need they need more spin than velocity. So
Yes.
like a little bit of nose up with that's why kind of how I threw Felix. Same thing. Really spinny, not a lot of oomph, but as long as you get that little bit of nose up, kind of like that with a
Yeah.
lot of spin, they're perfect for that. That's what they like to do because they'll just float right on in without going too far.
Favorite person to play a casual round with?
Ooh, that's tough. Can I name 3?
Sure.
All right, cool.
I
Because I can't narrow that down. I would feel bad for everybody else.
That's
Probably
fair.
my buddy Tanner Nordum, definitely one of them. Me and him have some shenanigans rounds. I like playing with Joe jumping in intervene. We played a couple of rounds at Kings, and he's like, it's just fun. And then probably my buddy Jeremy, because we have the most shenanigans because we've known each other since high school. We started playing disc golf together, like so many inside jokes every single round. So
Problem children. that card would be
yeah,
an issue.
it would need to be filmed. I don't even care if we play good. Just like
That's fair.
do like a practice round with it. Like it'd just be
Get,
quality content,
get Wally on that.
right? I'm telling you.
Call up Canadian Disc Golf Productions. Got a
Here we go.
winner.
P15 practice round. Let's go.
Oh my! Oh, I can't. It's a tough course to film at.
It is, but it's such a beautiful course.
Oh yeah, love it. Favorite course that you've played so far in your career?
Probably either Hillcrest or Project 15. I think so.
Yeah. No love for you the USDGC course? Is it because it's around?
Only for half the event. I mean, okay. No, like I like the property is beautiful, but like there's some like they changed so many things about it that I can't really fall in love with one specific layout of the course because it changes every single year. I mean, I've only played it once, but like still, but
yeah, we watched it enough,
right? I mean, it's more of like the natural beauty of the course. Like Hillcrest is beautiful, P15 is beautiful, like Winthrop in itself is beautiful, but those courses are like it's like natural scenery. I think that's what does it, and like the layout is fantastic. So
yeah, it's nice getting back to P15 like every year. Luckily, I've been able to do that so far since I've been playing, and just it's not like Gabe changes a lot every year, but the changes he makes are just like perfect.
They're so good. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
And it's funny. He responded or he commented on the video I did with Colleen that I released this week about the rules update and like, I guess dealing with your lie and being able to move stuff, and not intentionally, but we made the comment about P15 and he's got the wood piles. I'm like, the way that rule's written,
yeah,
it doesn't say you can't just like remove that entire wood pile if like whatever's behind your lie. And like he's like, feel free to spend an hour doing it. I'm like, I wasn't saying it to criticize. It's just like if it's not in the rules that you don't go in there, someone is within their rules to go and remove that entire thing.
In a very literal gray area type of way. Yeah, you technically can do that. Would we want to? Not really.
No,
but
it would be.
You are right. Technically, you can do that. I would recommend it, but
no. And you'd spend your 30 seconds removing freaking sticks.
Yeah, like 4 of them probably because they're just giant logs half the time too.
But again, if you know that's on your property, just throw it in the rules that it's you can't move them.
Yeah, it's like
you play from behind that lie if that's what it is.
It's like the part of the course rule kind of thing. Yeah.
Sorry, what am I trying to think? It's the juniper bushes.
Yeah, the relief. Yeah,
the rule there for those. Just expand it to the log piles. It's fine. Like no.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Everyone understands the discussions going on with the new rules that I've seen online. And just today talking about the 5-minute rule. You gotta show up 5 minutes for your tee time. I'm like, they're on the pro tour. They know that. That's their problem.
Exactly. Like most of them are going to be there 45 minutes beforehand, just warming up anyways. Like they're already kind of there.
Yes.
It depends on the course, but like if there's a warm up area, they're going to be there. So I don't. Yeah.
And the only issue I have, and they'd be right to complain if it were the case, is if there's clocks that are there that they're not synced. And honestly, for my money, why wouldn't the one in the practice area be fast? Because then you're sure to get to the tee on time.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, make it like a couple minutes fast. To be like, okay, it's almost time, and then you're already there, right?
Yeah, you're not losing out, and maybe that's something for them to consider. Who knows? Not an issue I have because I'm always there super freaking early.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather be there and not have to worry about the drive because traffic in Toronto and across most of the greater Toronto and Southern Ontario region is pretty freaking horrible. Just get the drive out of the way.
Exactly. I will get there at the start of check-in. That way, I'm at least there. I can like wake up, warm up, and I'm not like stressing about getting there.
Yeah. Bucket list course.
Oh, I would probably say Olympia or Olympus, whatever it is, Olympus
Oh yeah.
in Florida.
You like the look of that course on coverage?
I kind of do, yeah. Like the changes that Macbeth made on it when he bought it, I think it looks much better than what it did before. I mean, it was a temp course before, right? So like it can't look pristine all the time, obviously, but like the even the hole changes. I think I really like the layout of that. I think I would do at least decently there. I'd hope to think.
Your dream foursome.
Like okay, just like
And
local or professional, anybody. Oh boy.
anyone you want, and you can go back and say these guys in their prime. Maybe you want to play with Steady Eddie. Like I don't know. Totally up to you.
Oh, okay. I'm obviously gotta say Macbeth because he's been my favorite player the whole time. Not a fanboy, but you know.
Hold on. How
So
many
probably
Macbeths do you throw?
I got a couple of not a whole lot actually. I have like the
Yeah,
one
see, you're
Macbeth
not a
disc golf
fanboy. You're just
destroyer,
a fan.
but yeah, exactly. He makes good discs. That's all I can say. So probably put Macbeth on there. I'd probably want Eric Oakley just for like the personality side. Uh, ooh, that's a tough one. And then probably Kristen Tatar, just because she's the best female player right now. So I think having all those people on that card, like Eric for the fun and his skill level, Macbeth for being one of the best ever, and Kristen being one of the best ever as well in her own division, I think that'd be a cool surrounding to be in. And I would
Did you
get
get a chance to play with
smacked.
Eric when he was up here for that 1 year at Foxville?
No, no. So I could have. I think I was like tied for fourth after the first round, but my higher PDGA number dictated that I was top of the chase card and somebody else got top of lead. So I was like, well, I can miss out on that opportunity, but oh well.
Because I think the first tournament the first tournament I met you at was I think the NatSat P15 tournament because I brought a disc back
Oh
to you
yeah,
because you were staying at I guess your cousin's house or something.
yeah. It's at my cousin's house. Yeah.
Yeah, you're the reason I throw that. I threw an Instinct or the Royal Rage 2 for a while because I delivered that disc. I'm like, this is a good feeling disc, and I
They,
could
they,
actually
they
roll
were
with
good.
that speed properly.
Yeah, they were good.
But I think that was the year Fox was like later in the summer. I
Yeah,
think
because it was still kind of the lockdown kind of thing, the pandemic and stuff. So they had to kind of push it over here.
it was like late July or
But
August or something, and Eric was
yeah,
up and Thomas was here, and I think it ended up being I caddied for Chris on the Saturday, and then Casey mentioned that he didn't have a cart or anything. It was like, so I asked him like if he wanted a caddy for the Sunday, and it ended up being it was Casey, you, I think James and Joe was the foursome for the Sunday.
that's a
And it
good
was like,
card too.
this is such a great foursome because you've got like three forehand dominant players, and Joe, who's still like good with a forehand but doesn't really need it, it seems half the
Yeah, yeah.
time. And just watching you guys carve up that course, and just being like, by the way, like Eric and Thomas are just going off on the card behind you, so good luck.
Right? It's like we're doing great and we're still losing to the pace. It's like what? Okay, cool. Welcome to the
But
pro tour.
I don't think it helped that I think that was the year I think you played one round on the red course and the other two on the white
Yeah,
or
red
whatever.
was round one. Yeah.
And the two of them just
Oh
like
my god, I keep forgetting.
obliterated
I'm
the red
sorry.
course.
Yeah, like I think I shot 12 down in the red course and I was tied for fourth. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I got 12 out of 18 holes. Like, yeah, no big deal. Whatever. Eric
Right?
got 16 of them or something ridiculous. And same with
Like, oh,
Tom.
that's cool. That's cool. Right? Like, I think my round was rated like 10, 20 something, and I was tied for fourth. Like, this doesn't make any sense for Southern Ontario.
What is going on in Ontario? And now, like, we're lucky to get. I'm glad we're getting Thomas. Like, he wants to play that tournament every year. He likes the course, whatever he likes coming up. I guess it gets them a little bit of a break from the Pro Tour grind.
Yeah,
Chances
it's not as like a demanding mental tournament as like a Pro Tour event is or something like that, right? So,
but then we have the Diameter Open in the fall with the new Q series and everything, and just seeing the signups that we have now.
I hope they stay
all those guys come up for the event,
because that's going to be a good event. Like I'm just looking at it right now, and like the top 20 people that are registered are all pretty much, for the most part, household names.
Yeah.
So I really hope they all stay.
I don't want to jinx it because we saw we saw a similar thing last year in PEI with who was signed up at the beginning of the year, and then they realized, oh shit, that's far.
Yeah.
Or whatever the reasoning was that they didn't end up coming because it's a tough time of the season. There's really
it could be like things like too close to Worlds, I think. Yeah.
There's no other tournament. It's on the way, relatively. It's technically the shortest route, and I will give Daryl that. Like it is.
Yeah, he did a good job with that one.
2 points.
Yeah, he is right. It is the shortest distance just to come straight through Ontario. So it's a good idea.
I'm hoping
I could see more. I could see most people coming.
I hope I hope there's an interesting pro-am event, whatever it happens to be. I mean, I'm assuming something like that would normally be doubles.
Probably, yeah, or at least like 2 AMs to 2 pros, and then it's kind of you go that do whatever there. But
so
I can't remember how you do.
Here's hoping for a good crew, whatever we end up. If we end up as a card together, I will feel really bad for everyone else on the course because we'll be troublemakers for sure.
What do you mean? We're fine. Come on.
We don't cause shit anywhere.
No, it's going to be a serious round. We're focused. Sure. Come on.
Well, Kev always. Oh, sorry. I do have one last one because I added in for Calvin's, and so now it's part of my my questioning. Your favorite commentary team?
Oh man. Honestly, I low key liked it when I think it was it Nathan Queen and oh man, I can't think of his name. Did Nate and Nate ever do it? No, the Nates never did it. Like Nathan Queen and Nate Perkins never did it. I don't think. Who was it? The old gatekeeper.
Yeah, I know Nathan Queen did a few for Gatekeeper. I don't recall if it was with,
but that I think it was like earlier last year, maybe the year before. But like Nathan Queen and the guy that he's doing it with was like is perfect because like Nate had the very like down low analytical side of it, and then the other guy kind of brought in more facts or kind of in a casual kind of way, and it was a good mesh. Same with Big Sexy. You can't not give them credit. Like they're fantastic. But because they're like the OG ones, right? But yeah, Nathan Queen and his partner at that time were definitely up there. I cannot think of the name.
Yeah,
it's gonna bug me the rest of the night now.
Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say
I'll message you like
I do know your least favorite commentator, however, because we were watching the recaps last year from PEI and listening to the men's round, it was just like, oh my god, stop.
Yeah, it was a little, but
he seems like a very nice, like Jim seems like a very nice person.
But yeah,
he's just like he puts you to sleep watching the coverage.
I don't want to say it's like an old-fashioned way to do it, but it's kind of like how like the PGA does it. Like they don't have a whole lot of like jokes kind of there because they're kind of keeping it like a etiquette like professional base, which I understand.
Yeah.
But you got to engage a little bit, right?
I'm getting to the point where I'm liking watching Erica and Mad more than German Yuli. Like, not that I don't enjoy listen to German Yuli, but Erica and Madison are just like
they're just hysterical.
Play off each other so well.
They're hysterical, yeah.
And then watching them do the practice round with the guys this week, they're just like doing their own thing.
It's good gold. It's pure gold, those two.
I wish they were coming up here. I don't think they're
I do
signed up.
too.
Maybe they'll have to come up because they haven't qualified for USCGC and they're going to steal a spot.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's kind of what most people here are done. Like they've got their name in that way if they need to, or if they decide to just play it on the way, that at least they're there. But
And
looking at these
I
names, I don't
know
see
Daryl's
I don't see a
it's
lot of
not
people
for
having
that
a
reason,
problem.
though.
Yeah,
So
no,
well,
it's gonna be a good event, I think.
looking forward to it for sure. It's the one event I know like I'm gonna do terribly because I am not an MA1 player. I don't foresee myself becoming an MA1 player by September. Who knows? But I'm not gonna compete in the event, but I'm playing it because I want a chance to meet some of these guys and
Oh yeah, exactly.
hopefully get on a really interesting card for the pro am thing or just
Yeah,
whatever.
you never know, right? Yeah.
Like I'd say caddy for Germ, but he doesn't need a caddy. He's got his friggin' baby stroller or whatever the heck he uses.
That
Which
thing is a beast, man. That thing is fantastic.
I don't. Is it good for that course?
It's doable. There's not a whole lot of crazy elevation. But I don't know about like the four wheels. For me personally, I'd probably rather have like a push cart or pull cart.
Yeah.
But I mean, he makes it work on any course, so I think he'll be fine. I don't think I've ever seen him wear his bag in probably 2 years.
Not since he signed that deal. You're right. I don't think
Yeah,
he's worn his bag.
I mean, kudos to him. I keep forgetting. I am the worst. Uh,
Yeah. I understand why Paul's not signed up and not supposed to be coming up because I'm pretty sure with his announcement, that's right about when that kid's due.
yeah, and I mean, fair enough for him. He's got his like people can say he's washed all they want. He's still 1040 rated, but he's got his foundation. He's got Hannah. He's got his kid coming now. He's got like everything else. Like he doesn't need to do this.
No.
He still wants to do it.
Sorry.
He's got other
we're
priorities.
talking about different Pauls here, but a lot of the same
Oh,
things.
what are you talking about?
For you, Lee.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Anyway, I thought you meant Macbeth. My bad.
But no. But I mean, but certainly Macbeth isn't going to qualify for USCGC somewhere.
Well, he gets an auto qual. He's a past champion.
Sorry.
He gets an auto qual anyways, right? Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
I keep
I didn't mean
confusing
to
that
do
one with Worlds because like Avery was making the whole thing about Worlds last year. I'm just like, but you won. Like, shouldn't you be? Isn't it one of those tournaments where you're always in? Apparently not. That's the U.S. Championship.
I mean, I don't see why both of them can't be. Like, if you win the world championship, you're world champion. Like, you deserve to be playing in that every other year, right? I don't know.
No, apparently.
I'm just a three-digit rated player. What do I know?
Well, so is Avery at this point. As
Well, yeah. I mean, he doesn't play much. He's more running Discmania at that point, anyway. But
he's running a company. He's building 1,000,001 courses. It seems like
he is one of the busiest men I've ever had to like schedule anything with. Like, he is so busy with everything else he's doing, which is good for the sport, honestly.
Yeah,
you're busy.
Yeah. He may not get to play a lot anymore, but he still does so much for the sport and probably a lot more than most of us know about.
So, absolutely. Absolutely he does, yeah.
Good for him. Like I don't know if I've actually played an AJ designed course, but I know
I don't think I have either.
I know he did some consultation with Jeff and Kara on Scarlet about potential like where shorts could go and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see like we had the temporary shorts this year. Hopefully next year we'll have like the permanent shorts and in the locations they want them to be, not where they were allowed to put them because it's the middle of winter. And sorry. Yeah, you can't really put T pads down in January because the ground's
it ain't gonna work very well.
And hopefully we'll get the full shorts layout next year along with the back nine at Dentonia, which we're still hoping for.
That'd be cool, yeah.
I'd love to have it. I understand why the city has the city is a slow moving beast. There's only so that's ever going to get done in a year, but they've built up a lot of goodwill. People come from out of town to play these courses. It's a shame they're only in the winter. Like, I'm hoping maybe we get to a point where maybe we get one night, once a month in the summer would be lovely. You just get a nice big crew out for.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Because like I love Scarlet, but it's just like I don't want to drive. For me, it'd be like almost an hour and a half, not quite hour and a half, maybe like hour 20 to play in winter conditions. Like I love the course, but hour 20 for me is like in the wintertime.
I mean, in fairness, we didn't have much winter too much. With
no, we didn't. No, that's fair. But like I'm just thinking of last year because when I went there last year, there was like half of the course was just covered in like ice that thick. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a treat. But I still love the course. Like it's a fantastic course, but like playing in that, like driving an hour and a half to play in that, I'm like that kind of sucks.
Right, and I don't blame you for not wanting to do it. I used to go to Spruce and Santana, whatever, religiously, because that's what was available. And I stopped going to Centennial. Like I stopped going to Centennial in the winter the second it's icy because it becomes really freaking dangerous on some of those holes.
Oh yeah, those little slopes. Yeah, absolutely.
And then of course, like it's also a public park, and so you have a lot of people that just don't know what's going on and don't understand disc golf, and you never want to have that interaction with anyone.
Yeah.
So I stopped going there, and then Spruce, same thing. Like Spruce, if it's like conditions like now, a little wet, not so bad. A little icy,
it's not terrible. Yeah,
a little icy is no, thank you.
I remember I played the one GTA Cup the one year for a Bronte team, and we played Spruce the first time. That was the first time I ever played White Spruce. And I got there, and everyone's like, "Oh, you got your cleats?" I'm like, "What?
What?"
And everybody else, everybody, I was the only one that didn't have cleats. And I looked at the fairways. I was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna die."
You didn't. You still made it.
No, I didn't. I was very, very careful, very tentative. But I'm like, this is the great first impression of the course, just covered in ice, and I'm gonna die. But I like the course, but just a little bit of knowledge thrown my way probably would have helped a little bit, or maybe research. But
well, someone on your team probably should have warned you.
They probably did. I might have just forgot, but which is also a possibility.
You never. No, not a thing.
No.
You're always
recording. What are we doing?
I guess you're always well prepared now that you've had to go through.
Yes, that. Now that I have the 10 years under my belt, now I'm like I've seen almost everything.
So what you're saying is you have cleats in your car just in case it happens to like have a flash freeze in July.
You never know at this point. I don't put anything past Mother Nature at this point.
We had such a weird and mild winter. I'm like, we're either going to get a foot of snow in April, which
probably
I'm not ruling out the possibility of that happening, or it's going to be like the driest summer ever, which is not going to be good for anything.
No, I mean, as long as it's not like 39 degrees and dry. Like if it's like maybe like in the high 20s, okay, fine. But if it's like how it was a couple of years ago, where I had to play Eddyville at that point, it was 40 degrees without humidity, playing on the Innova Dune course. I was like, I am actually going to pass out.
Well, if it's the same one I'm thinking of, I think that was the year Amworld was in Florida. And if you thought it was Ontario,
no, it might have been. Yeah, that's
down there.
That would have been excruciating.
And that's like, I know Carter and Kat and Chantal were down there and just sitting there going, how did the three of you not just die? Well, you're from Ontario. You're used to ridiculously hot with humidity, but still, like
Florida's its own level of humidity.
Right.
Like I was in there in August for one point with me and Jeremy went down there in August for some reason, and we're like, never again. Like it was so bad. I felt like the air was 25 pounds on top of me at all times, like everywhere. I'm like, I feel terrible.
You step outside and your clothes are already soaked through with moisture.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And then it'll rain for it'll like torrentially downpour for 5 minutes, and then it goes back to hot and sunny and humid. It's like, okay, cool. Thanks for cooling me off for 5 minutes.
Weather.
Right? Literally.
This brings down to weather talk as part of this local pros episode. Thank you very much, Cam, for your time.
You're welcome, there.
Any of this because it is just way too much fun to keep it in.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you on the course. I guess the first one we're going to see you is Winter Thaw.
Yes, sir. Actually, it is. Yeah.
Well, I'm also hoping you win this weekend because I might have to get you and our FPO winner back on for a quick little recap of the event. Again, good luck. There's quite a field out there this weekend that I think has.
Yeah.
I don't know if they played the course more than you. I'm sure some of them have.
I mean, other than Oz, obviously, but I mean, a lot of them maybe not. Thomas Hums has been out there. Thomas and Leash have been out there a lot. I've seen them posting on social media a lot there. But...
Yeah, I know Brownie gets out there pretty regularly.
Yeah, Brownie's another one. Yeah. Who else we got? Maybe I don't know. The only other person I could see maybe would be James or Brian McDonald, maybe, because they're kind of probably the closest ones of the rest of them.
Yeah.
That I know of. We have a couple of Brantford guys, but yeah, maybe me and Oz, maybe. So
I assume you guys are playing long.
We're doing whites first round and then golds, which I actually don't mind.
So mids
I like
to
the white
long.
layout.
Okay.
Yeah, I like having the long layout last for sure.
So I know we just said goodbye, and now we're coming up with another question. When you have those tournaments, are you a fan of shorter than longer?
If they're gonna do shorter layout, I want it done first. That way, it's not like a pressure thing, but it's like, okay, well, this is the round I have to make sure I do good in. And then the longs is like where the scoring separation will happen. So you set yourself up with the short layout, and then the longs can be like coming down the stretch can be the best stroke separation. Whereas if you have the longs first and then the shorts, you already had that scoring separation from the long sometimes. And then the shorts is like everyone's doing the same thing. So you have to shoot super, super hot on the shorts to move anywhere. But
never thought about it that way.
That might just be my thinking. I love I love ending on the long layout because it's the most demanding for a reason. So it should be the one that decides, for the most part, the event towards the end.
Yeah, because I know normally for spruce events in M2, it's normally short mid are the layouts that we play. First round short, second round mid, and now that I think about it, you're right. I'd rather everyone be nice, tightly bunched after the first round, and then you have a little bit of separation there because someone just wasn't putting well or was hitting every tree on their way through, and then you get to the longs and it's just it's a slog. Let's get this thing over with.
Yeah. So it's like that added pressure of okay, well, I know I have to shoot good on the shorter layout to set myself up, right? So if you don't shoot good, it's okay, well, now I have to do a lot of work here, and that's the layout that you can do it on for your divisions and stuff, right? If you're shooting hot from the longs, you're probably getting strokes and you're going to be moving up slowly. If people see that, then it creates that whole other mental pressure of oh, so this guy's like how Joe did it all the time last year. How many times did Joe come in the chase card and shoot a 1040? He's oh, he's in a playoff.
More often than I want to remember. And probably as someone who was on the lead card half the time, this is probably way more times that you don't want to remember either.
I don't look at scores hardly at all, just because it distracts me from what I'm trying to do. If I'm thinking about scores at the same time, I'm not focusing on what I have to do. So I'm just gonna play the round normally, right? Like I normally would. But every once in a while, people are you checking the scores? I'm no. He's So I look and I'm Joe again.
But that's what I don't get about the people complaining about the new rule. I don't want to know scores, so don't look. No one's forcing you to look at the scores.
That's the thing.
You have to go in and do it yourself to look at the score.
Yeah, there's an option where it says I think it's an option where it says do not show total round scores. Right. It just shows the card of that hole you're on. I think.
Yeah. So there's the option it's set up to not show the round scores. But to see the leaderboard, you have to click away from the scores to see the leaderboard.
Yeah, you have to go exactly. So you have to do the same thing anyways. Yeah.
Just put in your score and move on. You don't have to look at your phone. No one's forcing you.
But if the option's there, that kind of like the
Right.
devil on your shoulder, like, oh, look at it, see where you are.
Like, and I get where Colleen's coming from. It's just we're creating more work for TDs because if people are going the paper scorecard route, which some people will admittedly do, you
Mhm.
now have to sit there and cross-reference that with what the people that were scoring live were doing.
Yeah, I can see that point of view for sure. But I understand the point of view where everyone keeps score that way. Like
Right.
that minimizes the discrepancies like crazy,
Right.
right?
And if everyone's fine with scoring on PDGA live, you're never going to have a discrepancy because it's going to tell you before you start the next hole that there's a problem.
Exactly.
Like that's what it's there for.
Yeah, I think it's a good move by the PDGA to make everybody keep score. That way, it's like because how many tournaments have you played where like I want to keep score? Everyone's like, not really, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't have a phone, or oh, I forgot my phone. My phone's dead. Like
Right. Okay. And then you have paper scorecards, and that's fine. And
yeah,
it's the same. Like
exactly.
if you went to the States, I wouldn't expect you to like kill your data to keep live scoring. Nor
That's
would I
yeah,
expect, nor would I expect Big Germ or Gannon or any of those guys that are hopefully coming up in September to keep score on their phone because they're just killing their data.
yeah.
Granted,
I think that's more of like an exception
in the
thing.
States, but that's not
Yeah,
the point.
it's more of it's more because even when I go to Project 15, it's the same thing. Like I have zero service once I pass like Kingston,
Right.
and so like I think it was last year we were trying to get our scorecard going, and I showed them I'm like I can't do like I literally can't do it. It's not even loading the page. Like
Yeah.
it came up as like with the the bar. Like it's loading, the bars are loading, but the page is just sitting like on a blank screen. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's fair. Like I see your proof, right? But
Right. So here's a
unless you have
piece
a
of
legitimate
paper.
reason,
Score.
yeah, unless you have a legitimate reason that you can't keep score, like I did there, or if we go to the States or if they come here or whatever happen may be,
Right.
then that's fine. But like, what else are we supposed to do other than paper, right?
And and fine. So you use paper. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pain afterwards, and
It does
it
suck,
is
but
what it is. But at least it gets
that
done.
way again, everybody keeps score, right? So it's still fair.
But
I
also
think I like it. I like the idea.
But also get the fuck off the green before you keep score.
Yes.
I know
Yes.
you're not one of those people. You're
No,
like
but
you're
there
like
are some
you are an explorer.
there are some cards that just stand there and like they'll like counting down the fairway of like, okay, I was over here and I was over here and then I was here and then okay, and then it's like, okay, do that on the next tee, please, because I want to throw. I'm hungry. I want to go for lunch. I want to throw.
I would like to throw my shot to get out of the way of the next
Please.
guy who's coming up behind me to throw his shot.
Exactly, and then it looks like it's our fault because there's nobody on our hole and we're still in the hole and it's like sorry.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if time penalties come up this year.
Yeah, I heard they're trying to crack down a little more on that or be a little more like you need to start calling it because like nobody is calling it.
Yeah.
Like if it's like egregiously blatant, you got to call it. But if it's like 30, like if you're in a tough line, it's like 35 seconds. Like I get it,
Well, yeah, that's one thing.
but
But
it's still.
I also don't understand. Like, granted, there's not a ton of money in it. Can you? Most of the Pro Tour events have enough people that are there watching that would probably volunteer if anyone asked them to.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like have a certified certified person by the PGA and the TD standpoint. Like you are certified to do this. You are allowed to do this. But like a lot of people just volunteer just to follow a card at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean I'd probably volunteer to be like either a scorekeeper or like an official on a card of the best of the best.
Yeah.
I'd feel kind of like an ass for calling Gannon or something on a time violation or whoever it may be, right? Because I'm just like some schmuck, but
the rules are the rules. Like
exactly, yeah. You have to kind of like it's like a swallow your pride thing. Like nobody wants to be that guy, but everyone needs to be that guy. Like
if you want them to be enforced, you have to enforce them. And if the players aren't willing to do it, which clearly they're not, if Brody, who's all talk about Jacob, Cupcake.
Oh, Cupcake, yeah.
And
yeah.
like all the time that Brody's on his card on the Sunday, I'm like, Didn't hear about Brody calling him ever. You'd think that would have come up.
Yeah, because I think we all feel bad because like it could also get in that person's mind, and like it's almost like a mind trick without trying to be one. Because now they're like thinking about that, they're not focusing properly. But at the same
Yeah.
time, why are you taking 50 seconds to make a 20-foot putt or 50 seconds to throw a upshot that you see every day of your life, right? Like you shouldn't take that long for that type of shot or any shot,
No.
really.
No, I mean, there's times I've worried over a putt or whatnot, but it's not like if it's a straightaway putt, it's a straightaway putt. Get yourself lined up, give yourself a couple, pump fakes. Don't ever film Daryl because he does about 12. I love Daryl to death, but like I was waiting to tee off on hole 10 at Scarlet, and he's under the bush behind the basket, and I swear to God, it was like.
But like actual ones that you believe that he's throwing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude,
I've had so many people
just
do that.
go, please. And it's
Oh,
not
I've
like
had so many people
that
do
long.
that.
It's just like I swear he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it this time. This time. This time. There it is. Just like, so many pump fakes.
The amount of times I've had somebody do like a full on like one of those, and I start walking, and I'm like, sorry, like
But
my
it's your
bad.
fault.
It's like I can understand you want to get like the motion down, but like I get it, like nothing wrong with that. But I'm upon quick glance when I see you do this, my mind thinks you've thrown it, so I'm gonna start walking. But
Sorry if you didn't, but like that's your
yeah,
fault.
sorry, my bad. First day on the job, sorry.
Okay, I promise. This
All right.
time we're good. Thanks a lot, Cam.
You're very welcome, guys. Thank you for having me.
All right, bye.
Bye.